Hello and welcome to another coaching video, and in the midst of fighting blue buff is the meta dominator, Jarvan. And of course we have Rengar on the other side. Now Rengar has struggled a little bit more than, other assassins in the current meta this season with the nerfs to him, to his items, to Futures Market now. Jarvan on the other hand was absolutely fine since the buffs last year, okay? He was good then. He's been in most of my tier lists this year as a viable, strong, versatile pick. All of a sudden, Gurren reaches rank 1 in career using the Jarvan CDR build, the Lucidity build, Lucidity build, yeah. What the hell is it called? Haste, there you go. The Haste build with, your Gold Drinker and your Sojourn, and now Riot have buffed those two items. So, what is a Platinum Jarvan capable of with this itemization combo, and is it worth copying, learning from, or basically doing nothing that he does? Rengar, on the other hand, is starting on the blue side, going up. As we all know, this is not so good. But at the same time, if you are afraid of a Jarvan, which I think we all should be, and you know, hey, this guy might start top side, I might start top side, we go down together, I don't want to be fighting you. Now, the most important thing about Jarvan is, much like Rengar, much like any jungler, you can start top side, sequence down, and if you have no prior in the lanes, and you feel like, hey, I don't want to fight over the Scuttle Crab, go back to base. Don't have to fight over the Scuttle Crab. You can base and then go opposite side. So I think if you're in Rengar's case here, start this side, go down. If you've got nothing available, you can't contest this, just base and go straight to the top Scuttle. Maybe do something about the gangplank. Meantime, this is weird, right? Jarvans can full clear. This is what they can do. They don't have to cheese, they don't have to 3-camp. They can, it's not super fast at all by any stretch of the imagination. Like we know Karthus and Fiddles, Xyrus sub 3 minutes. But this is all he has to do, because basically you look at it and you see, okay, our bottom lane died, cool. Rengar started here, he's going up, cool. So now we should be pinging off the gangplank, saying, yo, pirate guy. Rengar's going to be showing up here. He does hit from the Mordekaiser. The guy's actually looping back around. The Rengar's looping back around. Let's see why this might be occurring. There's no vision here. Now we've seen him, obviously, and the Jarvan immediately pulls the EQ onto the Rengar without even thinking about finishing off that Scuttle Crab, because he knows he wins that, because Q Armor Shred... Composure. And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Virkayu, founder of Virkayu.gg. I've helped tens of thousands of junglers reach their ranked goals from gold all the way up to challenger, and I make this content to help you climb with jungle 10 times faster. If you want help implementing this information into your own game, I have a free jungle improvement resource and a dedicated program, including jungle courses, weekly classes, private videos seen nowhere else, a full backlog of coaching VODs, and more, and that is linked directly below. Educational... Okay. So... that was god-awful. Again, I like the trigger pull. I don't know why the hell Rengar decided to reverse clear down to the Scuttle when he knows that the, Jarvan most likely is going to be going top to bottom. At the same time, if you don't know if the Jarvan is going to be going top to bottom or bottom to top, that's where a ward is useful early, right? Like, if you are assuming a jungler is going to go leashless and they can really do whatever the hell they want, then a nice deep ward by the Rengar early, right, onto a buff, into their jungle, so we can track this, will go a long way. This is what will make you happy. Guarantee it. Because now the Rengar knows, okay, Jarvan's on the bottom side, I can just go ahead and take this top Scuttle. Ha! Or, of course, gank the gangplank. Ha! And the Jarvan's down here getting this for free. Then Rengar goes back to base. Now Rengar can come out of base and gank the bottom lane. Cool! Now, the Jarvan here, I loved it. We saw immediately the Rengar shop, he cuts, he EQs, he goes all in, he knows he can beat the guy out, he's got the Conqueror stacking up, he has the damage profile. Again, this guy is obnoxiously strong, really OP, Gold Drinker added with 100 HP, you got 150 on the Spear Shoujin, better build path. It's really disgusting what this thing can do. Ban it, honestly just ban it, but you're looking at this and you're saying, but if Platinum junglers are going to mechanically fuck up like that, and that's the only way we can explain what happened here, because he flashed, because he missed his Q, and then his E... So it's really just like a really big mess up. That should have been first blood guaranteed kill, okay? We all agree on this one. You cannot bet on that, right? Because you have to assume that because the champion is easy to play, and he has like a 20% pick rate almost, that most players will be able to hit those moves, right? So, yes, they're going to misplay things. Yes, the Rengars too, but the Jarvans and Rengars you're going to face are not going to be mechanically amazing. It just ban it, right? At the same time, you're seeing here a Rengar is just afraid of a Jarvan. The Jarvan's going in to make those plays down in the bottom river without any itemization. EQ, remember, should be like 12 seconds on that originally because of the base cooldown on that E. But you're seeing here the Rengar has 2 long swords. He's trying to fight people. Now, that was an anemic Rengar game, right? At the same time, 2 long swords means nothing. W shield, that buff last year was huge, adding an AD ratio to it. The champ is just good at anything. No item skirmishing pre first back phase. Also, I don't understand the Rengar overall. And this is why people say, you know, where's Rengar in the tier lists? I'm not afraid of this, right? Even a donkey can play this right now, which is the problem, right? Because good Jarvans, people that actually understand the champion, are not going to be able to have the success without this Gore, Drinker, Spear, Shojin build combination, right? Like, they're just not going to have it. We saw the Mordekaiser move through here, level 6, he's looking to beat us down. I really hate it when that happens. I like the kiting from the Jarvan. We see it, we move, we draw ourselves into this pocket. The Ahri now ults and charms for some particular reason. She should just charm the Mordekaiser, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's worth the attempt. Typical Platinum stuff here, though. Jarvan staying out way too long, revealing that he's staying out way too long. This guy now TP's back to the top wave. Rengar knows he can chillax and relax because Jarvan hasn't base and he's on the bottom side. Ah, good job. Mislead. Mislead. I like it. But at the same time, you know, you showed they know you haven't based, so they know you're either going to stand on the bottom side or you're going to reset and go to the bottom side. Those are your 2 options, as we can see. So, obviously, in this case, does he stay out? Does he not? Who knows? From Rengar's perspective, we know. But from Rengar's perspective, he doesn't know, yeah? Jarvan could be ganking bot lane right now, but I think it's pretty obvious. If he hasn't based by this point, he's either finishing this off and basing, or he's basing and then finishing this off. That's it. RNG Scuttle bottom side 2. No. Seriously? There's no ways the Rengar's doing the dragon. There's no ways the Rengar's doing the dragon, like, at all. The likelihood of that happening is very low. And even if he was, what are you going to do right now, right? Because Kog'Maw has gone back to base. Kog'Maw has died. Morgana has died. Your bottom lane isn't in a position to go fight this. Also, your Ahri just burnt her ultimate mid lane, surviving a Mordekaiser gank. So even if he is on it, do we want to invest that much time, you know, coin flipping it and forcing a fight? Not really. So ideally, you just can do your Krugs, Raptors, cut in to take the RNG Scuttle. You know Rengar's going to sequence to the top side after dying here again, and then he's going to reset and come down here, so you can kind of block this off. You put a control ward in this brush over here, and now you can go and translate this into a gank on the Ezra right now from here, instead of from this angle. This angle's bad, this angle's good, alright? Rengar, there we go, as predicted. But now, we're just in a rough position. When you hit this, it gives vision, so you're just in a rough position in terms of what you need to do. So I think from the Jarvan's perspective, you know, solid start. Mechanically, we had a few mishaps, but we got a kill. That's cool. Should have 2 kills guaranteed. Back to Rengar. Put yourself in a better position. Because now, look, you're going to show up here, dunk with someone with a flash, which is the problem. Twisted Fate is the ultimate. Rengar shows on the top side here as well. We don't know where Rengar is at this point. He should be rotating down, but again, at this stage now, we don't know, right? The guy is just really doing random stuff. Nice EQ there. Auto attack again onto the Ezreal. We can keep auto attacking the Twisted Fate, but Q is up only now. See, this will start to go down, but it's 12 seconds base, as I said. 12 seconds base equals, once he's used the EQ, you know you got 12 seconds. That's why the Spear Shojin build is so good, because now you can EQ every microsecond is what it feels like. Rengar shows top side over this, going for this, so we'll say thank you for this. We can also take this and then kill them again. All solid stuff. You know, not magical, but solid. And with Jarvan, that's all you really need at this particular stage. Although I will say, you should be able to hit your mechanical buttons on this champion pretty easily. That is clearly an issue with this player. But we saw Rengar top side, so we can do a little cheeky equal and opposite. Yeah, we know he's there. We'll take this. He should fall back to this. But if he doesn't want to take the Herald, that's good for us, right? Like, if Rengar's not on a Herald and he's counter-jungling, we'll take his camps, and we can always contest it afterwards. Twisted Fate's roaming to the bottom side. We know the Rengar's on the top side. Hopefully, when he shows, we'll get another RNG Scuttle. Based. Rengar shows. Now that we know there's no flash on the Soraka. The problem is here. He goes... Okay. So the thing is here. This is what I'm going to try and get a lot of you mid-MMR gold, plat, emerald players to figure out. Okay, look. we're jumping into this. We don't know if it's warded or not, right? So this particular stage, I love keeping this warding totem, and I talk about this for high tempo jungling, but we're sitting with an extra charge. It's not like we're using it properly, right? At this particular stage, I don't mind keeping it first rotation, second rotation, but I do like having it in these MMRs now because you just don't have the awareness, right, to track laner's vision while tracking the jungler, while tracking what you want to accomplish. And that's not a slight, it's just too much information that you need to be aware of. A Gurren can do it, because the guy's reading the whole map all the time, right? It's just completely second nature for him. It's like in the back of his mind. We're still actively thinking about these things, whereas he is not, okay? It's like Faker with mechanics. So, having a scanner now means you can scan as you approach down here, but look at the wave, right? They're really far off. So basically, from your perspective, as you move on down here, you see the Kog'Maw coming, you see the Morgana in position, you should be pinging her right now, hey, I'm coming, let's go. And ping your ultimate timer, right? Ping your ultimate timer. 15 seconds, I'm on my way. Because what we want to do is effectively go in here with a nice EQ to hit up the Soraka. She's going to silence us, make sure you position accordingly. Have our team follow up, and then you can dunk her. And then that's a free kill, right? Because now you burnt a flash. But ideally, I don't want to burn my first ult on someone with flash. I want to hold that ultimate for their flash. Guarantee the EQ, keep chasing down, you've got the slows, if you've got a red buff, keep going, and then ult once they flash, right? Now, problem here is, we're looking at this wave, we're not communicating, we're not pinging, our bottom lane is not aware of us, we don't wait at all, it's a fat cannon wave, they cannot afford to walk into this, and now it's doomed, you see? If what you had done was ping, hey guys, I'm coming, I'm on my way, then what happens is, they might actually face tank the wave to bait them in, and you arrive at the same time, right? And you kill the Soraka, you kill the Ezreal, this is a good gank for us, right? This is good. But because you didn't ping and that you just show up, from their perspective, it's like, well, I'm not positioned, I'm in the cannon wave. It's too late now, right? So from the Jarvan's perspective, ping, let them bait it, use the bait ping. Use the bait ping in its literal sense, please. Hey guys, go in, please, into the wave. They know you're gonna be there, but they're gonna have no choice but to go on you, the Morgana, in this case. And then the Jarvan can come in and clean up. Again, still, you know, Ezreal's really fed. Soraka is very difficult to gank. You're ganking a losing lane. So you only want to gank those losing lanes when it's free, like really free and executed well. And now Rengar on this, like he hasn't done Herald still, so you're getting away with a lot here. And one could argue, look, at this particular stage you have Gore Drinker, why are you going down to your bottom side? Oh, because red camps, right? Because red camps. But while this is happening, you watch this, okay? We're looking at this. We're looking at this, okay? We're going in, we're like, okay, mechanically focusing, teammates! And now we look top lane, we just saw the Rengar last, right? Most likely the guy is going back to base, because we didn't see him show up here at all. Like, out of base, go straight for Herald. I feel like this is can we go straight for Herald play? Because I know my Grump is available, I know Herald is up and he didn't take it. I saw him gank top lane, and again, this is the difficulty. Did I pay attention to Rengar while paying attention to myself? Because if Rengar kills the gangplank, then yeah, probably Herald's gone here. But Rengar goes in really anemically, gets thrown out of the lane, and doesn't go down. He goes into the brush. So, it's really tough to notice. And he should be going to the Herald. But I feel like we can actually contest and kill this. And again, if he's there and he still gets it, maybe I can clean him up and kill him first. Counter jungle, do something here. Because now, look, I want to snowball the gangplank, I want to snowball the Ahri, my bottom lane are done. Done. There's no point going down here and sequencing up and being here at all, right? Because Rengar will most likely go to the bottom side again, but you're sitting around a losing lane. You're pathing Raptors, Red Krugs down to a losing lane. And so, when do we gank for a losing lane, Virkayu? When you are strong enough to actually kill everybody yourself. Well, again, it wasn't perfect, but ult dunkings. Yes, take the scuttle. So, in this game, that was an okay gank on a losing lane, but again, had to be done perfectly. Because it wasn't, everybody dies. Tragic. And if you have doubts about it, don't even do it. Don't even do that gank. Top lane and mid lane are what we want to snowball. We should have gone top side to get the Herald for free. Could have rotated to the Rengar as well. You know. And if you're going to do red side because you think it's going to be gone, like probably, then go Krugs, Red Raptors because you're pathing upside. We're not going to be pathing downside. We're pathing upside. We see this play. We kill. We help. We shove. This is something we want to be shoving as well with the Ahri so she can base. Just as a side note. As we drag on, like the Jarvan goes top side, push with the Ahri, get a few plates with her, use your E accordingly. Remember, what's the most powerful metric you can do as a jungler? Damage to turrets. You gotta kill. There's no dragon to take. You don't go for the herald. Hit the turret plates. What should we be doing? Going for the herald. Immediately. We're strong enough to beat the Rengar very, very easily at this stage. We should not be falling back to these camps. We shove plate into herald. She can reset. We have this guy with ultimate available and also with prio. So he can rotate down as necessary. And again, even if Rengar shows up, we can kill him. Easily. Easily. So a lot of missed kill conversion ratios. And again, now the GP is committing to the losing lane. Alright, but he is GP now. He is 3 levels ahead of the Soraka. And that's the difference here. Morgana misses the Q, but she does get the W. She's going to go for the ultimate. Rengar shows up with his ultimate, level 7 to level 10. He's going to go on the Kog'Maw, 99%. He's got the Soraka ult. He's got his W. We get silence in his place. Right, the Ezreal's just dishing it out, dishing out. And we have the TB from the Ahri. This is just tragic. Right? Level 6. Morgana's level 6, guys. And now we're holding this. Whereas instead, we should already have this. We can go this. Ahri TP's here. We just hit the Herald here and we shove the hell out of it. Like, we just shove. We can collapse down. So I think that's the beauty of this. If we had done what we should have, and this occurred, then we can finish this off, go mid lane, drop it, shove it, and collapse and get the cleanup triple. So again, good pathing, good decisions are always rewarded in some capacity later on. And I think that would have been absolutely giga huge, right? You see this, right? You see this triple kill. You see what I see? And again, good decisions always get rewarded, so. Said we're holding top lane. Why are you holding it? Shove it, push, do something. Like, who are you doing this for? You have to have a carry mentality. Just shove this, like, nah, like, pressure, man. Pressure. Like, he just goes back to base, like, pressure, plates, Herald, like, sitting here doing nothing and absorbing nothing, and it doesn't do anything, right? Don't like it. Here, be selfish. As long as the Mordekaiser's gone back to base, shove, try get plates. Because look, it's 14 minutes now. We didn't even take this when we could have. Platinum Gaming. That's what Jarvan's so good at, tempo control. If you're going to keep the warding totem, use it and get those things. Now, out of base, we could go for the Twisted Fate here. EQ burn his flash. But we go for the Raptors first, and our Ahri dies. Guy's just going to hold. Use this flash, obviously, to engage. Excuse me. I saw that, but my brain didn't register it. I saw him flash into the Ahri, but in my mind, I'm like, ah. Ahri's now down. Twisted Fate dies. Now we see bottom lane. We're going to flash. Oh, my lord. Are the mechanics not as easy as we think? I mean, this guy spams Jarvan. And again, like, even if you whiff your EQ, like, absolutely whiff your EQ, couldn't you just use one of the EQ flash variations? Right? Like, don't flash EQ if you're going to just absolutely miss it. EQ and then flash so that you get the knock-up, right? Like, yeah. Yeah. Tragic. Absolute tragic loss of control here by the Jarvan. Really, really not good. Because this Rengar is, like, what is he? He's a house cat. Right? Feline domesticus is what he is. He ain't no snow leopard. No tiger. No lion. Twisted Fate's still no flash here, but he's up 3 levels on us. And remember, the catch-up experience overall is not as potent, right? They've changed the rounding to be a lot more normal. So if you were 2.1 levels behind someone now, it would round up to 3, and you'd get that catch-up experience in camps. And now it won't do that, right? It's regular math, not Riot Games math. So you'd have to be 2.5 or above levels behind to get the round up to 3 in order to get the catch-up experience. So that little shift, while not huge, I have noticed it does have its effects. Because when you're down 2 levels, 2.1 levels, right, and you get the catch-up experience, it keeps you within touching distance, and all you need is one fight, one play, one objective, and you're back in the game. Now, because you don't get it, right, it's very easy to end up on the 2.4, 2.3, 2.2, and you don't get to close the gap at all. There's no catch-up experience, and they make one big play, and now you're down 3. And sure, now you get catch-up experience, but you're down 3 levels. Like, you don't want to have to be down 3 levels, so... You know, it's right? You'll notice it. I'm pretty sure you'll notice it. But yes, Soraka's super giga fed. Anti-heal is not being bought by anybody. Which, again, like, buy anti-heal, alright? And I know ADC's like, we cannot buy it, it's terrible. I don't give a shit. Because, you know, Jarvan, while he could build it as well, okay? Who's attacking the Soraka? I love it. Like, Twisted Fate's like, yeah, I guess I die. That was nice. That was good. Let's see if we can add up some pressure. Woof, that's a dead Morgana. Did he just ult a black shielded Morgana? Did I see that correctly? He's shoving, which is good. That is what we want to do. Like in theory, we're not tracking properly, but hey, Rengar's over here. Go kill him. Go kill him. Rengar's ulting, so he'll see us. I don't know, I'd be playing aggressive here, like into the jungle. Get a kill. Didn't want to do it. So yeah, we've lacked agency, and now I look down at the KDA, and I see 6-2-1. And I think that's what's the biggest thing. We've watched this guy, and if I'd hidden the scoreboard and we'd not paid attention to KDA or anything like that, you'd think the guy was not playing very well. You know, he's playing solid, but not very well. And you would not think he's 6-2-1. But he's made some good picks, he's made some good plays, and he gets an assist for this, like, you know, he honestly gets an assist for that. Shouldn't. But still, shadowing, present, helps, collapses, I like it. Raptors are spawning, we can snack this. So this phase has been better for me. I like the movement, right? The map movement he's had. Nah, unlucky. Like, I didn't like this. I wanted a lot of agency around this Herald. I do think we should have taken that, gotten a whole bunch of plates. We could have done a lot of this sooner. But, you know, this is Jarvan. Jarvan's a high-tempo jungler, guys. Yes, he can do fine in a lot of cases. That's because he's so strong. And a player like this, who's done the mechanical things you've seen, is still 6-2-3, 9 out of 14 KP. Obviously, the flying helps, but that's the problem with the champion and this build. Now, the E, for example, here's on a 5.7 second cooldown. The next time he uses it, we'll watch that reduction and see how it goes. But you're seeing a Jarvan get fed, be useful, be strong, in a game where he's not played particularly 1v9. There we go, there's the EQ. Boom, dunked. And it should be up here again. So we can do it once more after the ultimate. He's not actually doing anything. Imagine if we had anti-heal, just a little bit of it. I don't know, it'd be kind of good. Jarvan could probably justify it this game, though. Because you don't want Bramble, right? Bramble's absolutely useless because it relies on people hitting you. You need people to apply it, not wait for others to apply it to you, right? Because they're not going to want to, like, Soraka's not going to attack you, right? As Jarvan, so it's useless when you buy that. So it's better to go with the sword, you know? Whatever, the name is escaping me, you know what I mean, right? The Grievous Wounds Sword. Execution is calling. I knew we'd get there in the end. We could justify that this game, I think. Honestly. Especially if you are diving backline and you are trying to kill the Soraka, I think that's a big thing to think about. Now, we're on a solid position. We've recovered from the early game that was a little off. We're just going to keep killing the immobile, squishy, twisted fate. Boom! Active, baby! Now we have a dragon up. We can go ahead and snack that because Rengar top side, plus Mordekaiser top side. Morgana is here. Ari is here. Push bottom lane, please. Please push bottom lane. Or don't. Okay, cool. Ezreal shows up. Let's burn the sucker. Nice. Rengar kills our Kog'Maw, as one can expect from the Kog'Maw. Can you move this as 500 HP right now? And let's see this fight if it develops. We want to be careful here because, again, Kog'Maw's dead. They have 5 in theory. No, Twisted Fate is not ult. We're good. We're good. We're good. But if you're not tracking the timer, you're not familiar with the timer, I'm hesitant to get into a drawn-out fight when, even if he doesn't have ult, he can rotate in time. Because a lot of times this week even, I've come out of base on a respawn, and I've rotated to long fights that have kept going. And even in the proactive versus reactive jungling video on the main channel, with the Gurren and Dantes, the situation where Gurren dies on the dragon, he respawns and still kills a Blitzcrank here. Like, so these long fights, you gotta track the respawn timers and can people rotate. And if you're uncertain, you have a lot of gold, like 2,000 gold in pocket, don't overcommit. So, we are now shadowing our team. We are strong enough, we don't need to worry about it. Look at this. Look at that now. Can you read all of that? 500 HP, 60 attack damage, reducing the ability haste from immobilizing spells. We get 50% increased movement speed based on your missing HP, obviously, which synergizes perfectly with this item right here, which got 100 HP as well. So your healing and your rotations and your movement speed, disgusting. Has everything you could ever want. And the build path is a lot better because the BF sword here is the issue. That was just such a clunky thing to rush and buy in these kinds of situations, but a Caulfield's Warhammer, that is significantly more efficient for us to run with. So the 21 ability haste, crazy. That's 10%, sorry, 10 haste for immobilizing spells, obviously. We've been ulted by the Mordekaiser. We got multiple flags up. Like, that's the thing, right? There's multiple flags up. Let's just watch this setup here because we're kind of waxing hysterical about the Spear of Shojin. Okay, we have here the Mordekaiser. We're going to go in for our Raptors. And again, is this something you want to do? Can we beat this guy up? We've rushed. Oh, he did what I said. He did what I said. The Mordekaiser is really fed and strong. And you're looking at it and saying, but 1-2-1, that's not fed. Look at the gold. 7.4, we have 10k gold. Okay? But this is the crucial thing here. This guy steals 10% of your stats, of your core stats for the duration. You're fed, so he gets fed when he ults you. That's not a situation you want to be in. Also, you went with a Bramble, right? So even though he is attacking, you will look at the the Thorn damage, yeah. I don't know. MR is good this game, I think. Like, why do we have a Warden's Mail and a Bramble Vest and a Cloth Armor, right? What good does that do us in a game where Twisted Fate is doing damage and Mordekaiser exists and Ezreal is hyper damage? Yeah, he's AD, but he's hyper damage. That's a crucial mistake, I think, over here. It's a crucial mistake. Making me lose my oxygen. But I'm okay with that. You know, not as a strategic play. I think they just threw the entire game, though, from it. Because what are we looking at? We have a small gold lead. Right? We come at a base here and go all in for our Raptors. I mean, I don't think you should ever go all in these situations. I'm very cautious. Probably too cautious sometimes, but my champions don't allow me this brazen nature. Ari's going down to catch this wave. He's going back to base here. They're going up. You're by yourself. We saw Rengar. We saw Twisted Fate. We saw all of these people here. You know, even if Mordekaiser doesn't ult us, we get absolutely waxed. So I think we need a bit more restraint in terms of, hey, we know they're all there. We can't go there. Unfortunately, we do go and we learn that Mordekaiser steals our stats, obviously. There you go. Everything went up from his particular case. So he gets quite tanky as well. And again, he doesn't play properly. The Jarvan didn't play properly. Mechanically, not having a good time. But from this, I do think also it's a huge thing about his itemization. Because you could justify 100% Grievous Wounds as an attack-based itemization while just going Hex Drinker and going more of a Mortius. I think it's absolutely huge to think about it that way. Obviously, having the Bramble Vest, you know, it will do stuff when people attack us and everyone has lifesteal, but like you can see this, we're squishy now. Healing reduced isn't that great. 453 in 2 long fights isn't that great. But a lot of this for me is not, hey, look, this build is shit. It's, hey, look, you have this build and the enemy team is just ahead. Like the enemy team, 3 of them have over 10k, and your 3 10k are just being kited out. Our team fighting mechanics are not good, so they lose literally every team fight. What are we at? 20 to 30? 49 to 33? 9-8-12? Yeah, the timeline is just tragic. So I'm not going to go over a 39-minute game of them just repeatedly losing team fights. I do have a full team fighting game video plus a macro video for these kinds of situations. But they just slowly bleed out and lose. Not a lot of kills. The red team just bunches up. You can see here this fight right now. Everyone is rinsing us. It's so important with this Jarvan build to have high tempo. And that's the lesson from this video. Don't gank the losing lane unless you're prepared to actually carry that and get those kills. When you have the opportunity to take Herald and force plates and really shove the map out, do it. Because you look at this tier 2, tier 2, tier 2, all available and up. That shouldn't be the case with the Jarvan who did end up getting fed. And a lot of it is his own mistakes. He didn't punish the Rengar enough at all. He didn't leverage this Herald into some really strong action. He could have taken this Herald and rotated down for a triple kill over here and then used the Herald, shove, take, crash, shove, elevated the game state really highly. He didn't do it. And that's what cost him in the end. And sure, you can obviously go, you know, we're talking about an aggressive build because I'm thinking more of a carry kind of mindset. But yeah, these two are great. Spirit Visage is great. Frozen Heart is great. Those things make sense. You know, you add in a bit of Grievous Wounds and you probably got a better time. But they are equally at your level. And it's a very tough comp for Jarvan to kind of dive in and deal with. Look at the silence, look at the heals. Everyone sits on you, get exhausted. Obviously, now you're just getting whittled down, whittled down, whittled down. You're too far behind. They have an ocean soul at this particular stage. And, you know, the Grievous Wounds ended up doing quite a lot in fights. But I don't want to use that as a results-based situation. Okay? Because we were put in situations where we are actually triggering that, when I think normally that shouldn't be the case. Either way, against auto attackers who are attacking you, then yes, go Bramble Vest. Otherwise, Executioner's Calling I think is good. regardless, not an easy game for the Jarvan to carry with the bottom lane playing this badly. So yeah, that'll do it. Rough game, interesting game, good game to learn from, mechanics, macro, and everything else. Virkayu GG, if you want to submit one of your Ruffle files, you can do that in that Discord.